rest of Homeschools Connected, the best homeschooling community on the internet. Let's notify them. All right, we got the notification set. Now we need to grab TikTok if they would allow us.
You are about to understand colonial America.
Okay. Ooh, that video is crushing. All right. Ooh, that escalated quickly. All right. Now, let's grab TikTok. We're going to call this Carpentry for Kids. Carpentry for Kids. All right, let's fire this bad boy up, man. Oh, I'm falling. My phone's one phone falling over another phone. It's a catastrophe here, people. All right, you ready? You ready? I'm ready. Game face. Hoop. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, TikTok. I'd say good morning, but let's be honest, I was a little bit behind today, but it all worked out well. Wound up putting out 2 great videos and completing a lesson plan, which is the focus of today's talk, because unlike public schools, us homeschool parents go out of our way to make sure that we teach our children real skills. And I always tell parents, it only takes one skill to free a man. And whether that's carpentry, whether that's engineering, whether that's computer coding, art, music, photography, videography, aesthetics, plumbing, if you have one good skill and the experience and knowledge of what to do with that skill, no one can ever tell you what to do. And if you're anything like me, you don't want your children to grow up and be reliant on anyone. I don't want my children to be reliant on the government, for sure. I don't want them to be reliant on corporations, especially with everything that we saw happen over the last 2 or 3 years, where corporations had really been granted almost dictatorial, tyrant-like powers by governors in this state or that state. You know, we know especially which states we're talking about here. You know, I don't call it California for nothing, but so you don't want your children to be in a situation, just like I don't want mine, where they're adults 20 years from now and some power hungry or power crazed boss tells them, hey, listen, if you don't get, I don't know, let's say maybe a procedure, then you're going to lose your job and then you can't pay your mortgage. And, that puts them in a very bad situation. So we don't want our children relying on the government. We don't want our children relying on corporations. And done right, we don't even want our children reliant on us. When my children are 25, 26 years old, I know myself. And if they need me, I will literally work to the bone, injure my body, break my body, and ultimately die younger doing it to make sure that they're okay. But hopefully, if we educate them right, they won't need us to take care of them, and we could begin to take a little bit of a backseat. And then you get the beauty of multi-generational families where you get old and no one's putting you in a nursing home. They're taking care of you. They're loving you, because if you give your children that love and that effort, they'll certainly give it to you. And that's why I always tell parents that having children, loving those children, investing in those children, homeschooling those children, that's the best investment you can ever make. And it's definitely something we all want to do. But to the theme of this talk, skills over subject matter, not that subjects don't matter. We teach our children English and history and science and all these things. Of course, we want our children to know these things. But with that being said, if I had to choose between them learning nonsense, politically driven history or tangible skills, I'm going to pick the tangible skills. Luckily, we don't have to choose we teach our children both. But one of the skills I love to focus on for children is carpentry. And as I've worked this stuff out, and how do we make our children into carpenters? How do we teach them these skills? The first thing I like to do is simplify. Oh my God, I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to do anything. I have 2 left hands. I can't build anything. That's fine. That's fine. What I suggest for parents, and I really suggest this for all parents who want to teach their children any skill, but carpentry is a great skill, is basically from, one second. Sorry about that. Basically, from whenever they're ready, to choose one project a month and have them do one carpentry project a month. Home Depot has monthly kits free that are awesome as well. I didn't know that. I'm going to screenshot that. Thank you. That's awesome. So, what I suggest is you have your children do one carpentry-based project a week. Now, you start really simple, and as they get better and better, you could start to do more complex stuff up until the time when you feel like they're ready, and then you could start guiding them, challenging them to actually use that skill to get entrepreneurial experience. So how do you do that? Well, let's say your child has developed some basic carpentry skills. What I would suggest you do is now you say, okay, well, why don't we do something cool and fun? You're driving along the road and you see someone just threw out a desk, a piece of furniture. Hey, why don't we throw that in the back of the trunk and bring it home, and you could refurbish it. Oh, what does it mean? What do you mean refurbish it? Well, we could take that piece of junk, we could sand it, we could paint it, we could add things to it, and we could make it vibrant and beautiful. And then once we do that, we could take it to a farmer's market, we could take it to a flea market, we could take it to a mom and pop store, we could take it to Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, and we could actually flip and sell your work, and you could keep the profit. Yeah, I can get paid doing the carpentry that I love. Absolutely. Great life lessons, great mindset development, great experience for the children. So there's so much you can do, right? We develop skills, we use the skills to get our children entrepreneurial experience, and we use the entrepreneurial experience ultimately to free our children so that they're not reliant. By the way, I'm going to go back and answer every one of your comments if I feel like it, but I'm going to go through all your comments, and I just like to get through my opening rant first, because otherwise the trolls could derail our chat. So, and I do get a lot of trolls. So, you start them on carpentry basic once a month. Now, what is the assignment I outlined today? Well, on Homeschools Connected, and by the way, you don't even need to join Homeschools Connected. You can literally just watch my post from today. I outlined a fun assignment for children, very simple, where they actually make the home address sign that you put in front of your house. And it's something they could be proud of. It's something they could see. You display for the whole neighborhood. I mean, it's a really cool, rewarding assignment, right? So what you do, very simple, you basically get a 12 by 24 board. You could cut it yourself. If you're not comfortable cutting it yourself, or you're not an expert in this, I would certainly recommend having someone who is comfortable do it. So you could go to Home Depot, have them cut for you a 12 by 24 inch board. Just a wooden board. Choose your wood. If it's going to be if it's really going to be the sign in the front of your house, you might want to choose a nice wood, but whatever you want. You then purchase some wood stain. You have them stain the wood with a rag, and now you're teaching them the skill of not only cutting the wood, or having someone cut the wood, but how to stain wood. They could sand it down, they could stain it. And then after they stain it, you go to Michael's, you get a little cheap metal bucket, you have them screw the metal bucket to the front of your wood. They also sell little number signs. Again, these signs are like, a number is like $2. You get these metal number signs for the numbers of your house. So if your house number is 45, you buy a 4 and a 5. You have them screw in the 4 and the 5 to the wood. Then they take a little bit of cloth. They line the basket with cloth. They could use a glue to seal it shut. And now you have your wood plank with the basket attached to it, the numbers on it, and the cloth. You get some either fake flowers or real flowers, depending on what you want to do. You put the flowers into the basket, and boom, you hang that in the front of your house, and your children built with their bare hands the address sign at the front of your house. And now when people pull up, they see it, they remark how beautiful it is. Yes, little Matthew made it. And you introduced your child to these basic carpentry skills. And then that's the lesson that I released today. Very excited about it for the members of Homeschools Connected. And what you do is you pick one of those lessons a month. If your child really takes to it, you could do more. They even sell $10 books on Amazon, which are designed to teach your children to be little carpenters. And I have a member of Homeschools Connected that I've been working with for a while. Her son's incredible. He's like 7 years old. The things he does are absolutely amazing. And there's no limit to what our children can do. We just want to guide them, start with simple projects, build upon that, develop those skills of carpentry, use those skills to get them entrepreneurial experience. And if you do that, there's no limit to what your children can do in the world. I'm now going to go back and answer some of your questions. For anyone interested in what I do, it's classicallearner.com. My private group is Homeschools Connected. All right. Hey, patriotic hippie. Nice to see you here, as always. Home Depot has monthly kits that are free and are awesome. I didn't know that, so thank you for that. I'm going to look into those Home Depot kits because that sounds amazing. I know I took my son to Home Depot one time, and they had an event where we built a wooden airplane. He painted the airplane. It was really cool. That was before they shut the world down, so I didn't know if they were still doing stuff like that. I mean, I didn't shut down, but you guys get it. Usually the first weekend of the month at Home Depot. Thank you for that, Lady Agent 355. We moved to a farm and have the kids right by our side running the equipment. They are now remodeling. Yeah, and farms are great places. You can have them build chicken coops, composting bins, garden boxes. And by the way, you don't need a farm to do compost bins. You don't need a farm to have your children build a garden box. Speaking of which, we're doing a year-long nature unit study, all of the members of Homeschools Connected, and one of the things our students have done throughout the course of that unit study is they've actually constructed their own garden boxes, which is an assignment that I love. And of course, that was part of them making little greenhouses, planting seeds, taking their little seedlings that have been germinating them, transferring them outside, making fertilizer out of banana peels, all this cool stuff that you can do with your children with an outdoor garden. And by the way, when you do that, you study photosynthesis, you study soil biology and all of the things you want your children to learn. There's no limit to the things we can do with just a little bit of creativity. Have you ever heard of the Founders Classical Academy? I have not. Homeschools Connected, classicallearner.com. Thank you, Melissa. Crushing. Can also make a frame to create your own paper. A double assignment. Create a frame to create your own paper. How does that work? We are going to build a potato box, so he will learn building and growing potatoes. That's really cool. Potato box. I like that. Nah, cut down the tree by hand and process the wood yourself. You know, you probably say that joking, but I know people that do stuff like that with their children. In fact, the boy I had referenced earlier who could build anything, his father actually cuts down trees for a living. And because of that, when I originally met this mother, that boy was 5 years old, and she was already in line with what I was talking about. And I was shocked when she said to me, yes, he's actually helped Dad cut down trees, and that's something he does. I actually have a homestead covered in trees. I have 15 acres of land covered in trees and 1 acre that's been leveled. And one of the things I will be doing with my now 4-year-old over the next couple of years is we will be cutting down trees. We will be getting a mill, and we will be milling that wood. So you probably said that joking, but in all seriousness, if you want to educate your children to the best degree possible, which we all do, You want to give them as much hands-on, real-world experience as you could possibly give them, because you don't prepare children for the real world by sitting them in a classroom for 8 hours a day, anything in the real world. You get ready for the real world by getting them into it, getting their hands dirty, having them think critically and solve problems in the real world, which is why I love STEM projects. And when you do that, your children can do amazing things, which is why I preach what I preach. It's why this morning I released the house sign project to Homeschools Connected, and it's why I'll continue to do that. This is what I believe in. It's critical thinking, it's problem solving, it's skill development, it's entrepreneurial experience, it's all the things that our children should be getting in spades, and there is no reason that each and every one of us can't get that experience for our children. Add boards as they grow and add more potatoes, right? Because with potatoes you plant, you cover in dirt as they grow. Then the plant grows more, you cover them in dirt. So yes, that's something you can do. I have successfully grown potatoes one time, but by next year I plan on having a very substantial potato operation. Hi, Bear Fam. Wednesday's Child in the house. Wednesday's Child. People think I know a lot about homeschooling. Wednesday's Child has like, when I need resources, I could just go to Wednesday's Child and be like, hey, you got any resources for this? And she's like, boom, 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 boom. Amazing resource. Very valuable person, Wednesday's Child. Are those happy children noises? Why, yes, they are. Brady and Aubrey are having a play date with 2 children, which is very exciting. There is another 4-year-old and another 1-year-old here, which is great because Brady is 4 and Aubrey is 1. Life is beautiful, and we have a bright future for our kids. The future, if people saw what I see every day, I have such a unique perspective and insight into the world because I run a homeschool company, and I have access to so many parents that are taking personal, like there are 11 million homeschoolers in America right now. And I'm contacted by these people all the time. People with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 children. We have multiple members of Homeschools Connected with 11 children. And I see what people are doing with their children. And don't ever let these despair merchants make you think the future isn't bright. The future is going to be absolutely wonderful. Tough times make tough people. Tough people make easy times. Easy times make weak people. Weak people make tough times, right? And right now, because we've been in tough times, the next generation is about to be filled with tough people, and the future is very, very bright. Make a wooden frame with wire netting, like an old window screen. Create a paper pulp. I'm going to screenshot that. I insisted that my kids learn math and physics. Yeah, no one's saying they can't learn math and physics. You know the guy that mapped the human genome, the head of the Human Genome Project, was homeschooled? So yeah, you could definitely teach your children physics. Wait, you socialize your children? I thought we didn't do that. Right. I mean, the mainstream will have you believe that children sit in a dungeon all day, when in reality, public schools are very much structured like a prison, the way a prison is structured. And homeschool children are out in the world, they're exploring, they're meeting new people every day. So it's the complete inversion of reality. Right, because apparently homeschool kids don't get enough social attention. Yeah, it's so funny you say that. And it's like, and I know Melissa knows more than anyone, you know, she has 5 children that she's homeschooling. An amazing woman. And for any of us that homeschool, like, you know, on Sunday, my son, we go to church, and my son and my daughter are in a church. They have a class. Oh, I have the best story. Okay, so on Sunday, I was at church. So Brady goes into his church class, which is with the 4-year-olds, and Aubrey is now in a class with the 1-year-olds, the walking 1-year-olds. So they had all the children from all the different age groups meet in a music room for class, and Brady's in the music room, and they're doing their music thing, and they brought the 1-year-olds into the room. So Aubrey comes into the music room, and there's hundreds of kids in there, and she sees Brady. She runs across the room, grabs Brady, tackles him to the floor, and the two of them were rolling around on the floor laughing together. And as soon as I got there, the teacher was telling me all about it, and I was like, wow, that's just absolutely crushing. And I was so excited to hear it. But yeah, I mean, socialization isn't hard at all. And, you know, every Wednesday, my son is in a jiu-jitsu class. Every Friday, he is in a gymnastics class. He's literally having a play date right now as we speak. We go to the park multiple times a week. Baseball season is currently out, but registration is up, and we're about to register him to start baseball again in the fall. And once baseball starts, that's another 2 times a week. We're in town multiple days. I mean, between Nicole and I, we're probably in town at least 5 days a week. So it's the notion that you don't you don't socialize your children when you're homeschool couldn't be further from the truth. And the more we break those stereotypes, the more people will be comfortable taking that leap. Because the truth is that homeschool children, if you do it right, and most parents that I come across are doing it right, are more socialized than their public school peers who are locked between concrete walls in a classroom for 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, 180 days a year, 15 years. So yeah, it's definitely a choice. So I think I'm going to do a quick stream today. I was running a little bit behind, and I just wanted to get one stream in and talk to you guys a little bit about the construction project. So I hope you guys do the construction project. It's a pretty simple one. The only part that makes me nervous is the cutting of the wood. So if you don't have anyone experienced with that in your home, I would definitely recommend you have a Home Depot professional cut the 12 by 24 board for you. If you have experience with that and someone who understands proper safety precautions, then go ahead. I am going to say it is your responsibility to take proper safety precautions. Please take them. Tools are no joke. But yeah, cut the board, get the letters from Michael's real cheap, and you can have your children actually build the front yard sign, you know, the address sign for your house. You know what I actually found out, which is really cool? So all my life growing up, and I'm the youngest child in my family, so my sister is about a decade older than me. And all my life, there was this sign in front of my house growing up. It was this white sign with black letters, and it said, "The Pikes." So last night, I was on the phone with my mother, and I was telling her about the project I'm doing for Homeschools Connected with you guys. And she was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Erica made the front sign for our house." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Oh yeah, the Pike sign in front of our house." And I never knew that my whole life. That sign in front of my house, my sister Erica had actually made that. And it comes full circle because now I'm suggesting people do that project. And I thought that was really funny, and I got a kick out of that. Speaking of which, my mother told me, and I need to call my sisters. I need to call my sisters. I need to call my brother. I'm so task-oriented all the time, and I'm always trying to get things done for Homeschools Connected and build, that one of my strengths or one of my weaknesses is I don't call people enough. So I need to call my siblings. I need to let them know they're important, that I love them, I miss them, and that, quite frankly, they should come here and live where I live. My other sister just moved to Florida. I'm really happy for her, very excited. Very exciting. I need to call her, and I'm going to visit her in September, so that's something I'm excited about. I got a busy September. a busy, busy September. And Labor Day weekend, I'll be in Missouri. I'm giving a speech at the first ever Bertaria Times Magazine national event. So I'm giving a speech for that Labor Day weekend. And then mid-September, I'm visiting my sister, and we have my wife's brother's wedding in Florida. So we're going to have a busy September. Been traveling a lot. I just got back from Pennsylvania. I was at Crush Fest. So I've been a busy bee, but these are all good things. Where in Missouri? It is in, I might get this wrong, Mountain Grove, Missouri. It is the Bertaria Times Magazine national event. I think if you go to bertariatimes.events or bertariatimesmagazine.events, you could find the tickets for it. But I'm very excited, and if anyone wants to be there, I'd love to meet you, hang out, shoot the you-know-what, have a good time, because I'll be there for 3 days, so probably 2 days, because my flight Friday lands at 6:40 in Missouri, so I'll probably just go back to my Airbnb, and then Saturday morning I'll be there, and Sunday evening, the culmination of the whole event, I'll be giving a speech in front of everyone. I'm very excited about that, so really cool things happening. I've only given a speech like that one other time. I gave a speech in front of the Constitution Party National Convention about maybe 8 months ago, which was a really cool experience itself. Like, these were like these national political bigwigs, and I gave a speech in front of them about what the political class should do and how we actually build and how we win. And I met some really cool people. I was impressed with what they were doing. It's probably why they're not promoted by the system at all. But I was impressed at the Constitution Party. I enjoyed meeting those people. So, yeah, this is exciting. Something I look forward to doing. And, we'll see how it goes. So, all right, guys, that's really what I wanted to cover today. Anyone interested in joining us and what we do, you get access to all the courses and the curriculum I put out. Our homeschool community, which is second to none on the internet. www.classicallearner.com. Homeschool's connected. Use the discount code FREEDOM, all lowercase. It's $10 a month. And that's it. That's what's up. So you could find me on everything with Classical Learner is my username on everything. And I'm also going to be making a second you-know-what-agram account today, because I think I have about 40,000 followers there now, and I should probably make a backup. So I'm going to make a second account on that today, and I'm actually going to upload my classicallearner.com talk video that I made today onto that platform, and that will be my hook to get people to, hey, I made a backup account for that, So anyway, that's what's up. That's what I'm doing. I'm probably going to create that account literally when I end this stream. I'm just going to do it right on my phone, right here, right now, you see? So anyway, spread the word. Tell people about Homeschools Connected. For all my members, August, September is a really big time for homeschool companies. So spread that word. Tell people that you love Homeschools Connected. And word of mouth is the best advertising out there. Let's get more people in. As I get more people in, it just empowers me that I can start to put the money back into... Once I get to a certain number, which I'm so excited about, I'm actually going to be able to really hire people to do courses, to do content creation, and all that's just going to go back to you and your family. So spread the word, clip my videos, share my videos everywhere, and let's do this. I told Nicole we're going to have a really big August. We're going to have a really big September, and I'm so excited about what we have to come. So, all right, I'm going to call a stream. Freedom isn't free. We have to earn it every day. I will undoubtedly be back tomorrow, allegedly at 9:30 a.m. to earn it. And we can now casually watch as I drink the refreshing ice water that I prepared for myself prior to this stream. Nicole made this, by the way. This is me as a GIF. Crushing, Jennifer. Absolutely crushing.